Hello, my posse. Hello, all my new subscribers. Meow with one more time. I'm so glad that you stopped by. My tongue got away with my eye tooth and I couldn't see what I was saying for a minute. Anyway, I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for coming over today. You know I appreciate you always coming over. And today we're gonna hop to it. I have answers for you. I put out a short video a couple weeks ago and some of you had some questions for me. You were really good. I thought I was gonna get some doozies, but you were really good. So I'm gonna answer your questions and tell you your answers. What was that about? Anyway, so let's get started and I'll answer some of your questions and I may have some of my own to ask myself. I don't know yet. Anyway, so I'm gonna start off by the first question was asked to me by Cheryl Kujarski. She wanted to know, was I born and raised in Michigan? And she says, oh, I was just wondering because she got sidetracked. Anyway, I was not born and raised in Michigan. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, PA. And that's where all my family still is. I apologize today, sinus drainage. Anyway, so yeah, and my mom and dad moved, they moved to Michigan. My dad moved up here for a job because jobs were hard to find. We had a restaurant business in PA and it kind of went down the tubes a little bit. I think a lot changed during that time. So Daddy got a job up here in Michigan from one of my uncles who worked in a machine shop industry, and Daddy came up here for that, and we left our entire family. I don't know how my mom did it because our whole family was there, both sides of the family, and she left them to come to Michigan, and she was alone. And I remember her saying that and crying and saying how she missed the friendly people of PA, and it took her a long time to get over it. But we did go back and forth a lot, and lately we haven't because we've all, gotten up into mature years and families have grown and you can't get away as much. And but we do go back and see the family, and we all keep in touch on Facebook, which I absolutely love that platform for keeping in touch with my family. Thanks, Cheryl, for your question. Hope that answered for you. And the second question is from Valley S. And she's a relatively new subscriber. Thank you for subscribing, Valley S. She asked me, she's loving my channel. Thank you. I'm loving that you're here. She said, I'd like to know a bit about your background. Perhaps you could tell us about your heritage, where your family is from, how many brothers and sisters you have, etc. That kind of thing. Well, I already mentioned that I am born and raised Pittsburgh, PA. I am Italian, 100% Italian. My dad's side is from Sicily. My mom's side is from Calabria and Naples. And for years, I always just said I was Sicilian because I didn't want to go, well, I'm half Sicilian and I'm half Calabrese and I'm half Napolitana. And so I just said, Sicily. Yeah, so I was just always Sicilian, I guess. But yeah, it was funny because they talked, my mom being from Calabria, well, not her, but her family, they were all born in Pennsylvania. They talked such different tongues. Sicilians, Calabrese, Napolitans, all talked different dialects, and it was funny to listen to them. And they never taught me. They talked amongst themselves when they wanted to hide Christmas presents or something. They would talk, and I was always like, why didn't you ever teach me Italian? But they never did. I know all the dirty words though, because they were good for that when they got together. But yeah, no, I don't know how to say anything, but maybe come stai, or, I don't know. And I always wanted to learn, but I didn't. I guess I could go on Rosetta Stone and learn Italian, I guess, but I haven't. So, and I had one older sister. We were 15 years apart, actually. I was the I don't know, I wasn't a menopause baby. I don't know, my mom was pretty young. She was 16 when she had my sister. So me and my sister were 15 years apart. And by the time I came along, my sister was dating her high school sweetheart who she ended up marrying, and she had to babysit for me because my mom and dad were running the restaurant. And so, you know, she always had a dislike for me from when I was born because I ruined her like teenage life, you know. Yeah, she just passed away. Last year I lost my sister. So I lost her and lost her niece, my niece, her daughter passed away 3 months before my sister passed away. And my niece was only, I think I talked about that on here, she was only 57 when she passed away of a sudden heart attack. So anyway, she's my only sibling, just my sister and me. That's all that there was. So I hope that answered your question. Thanks for asking. So Cynthia Ertz, I believe, she's also a new follower. Thank you for coming over. I so appreciate you. I have so many wonderful new followers. I'm so excited that you've joined my channel. Thank you so much. We have lots of fun here. Anyway, she asked me, your wigs look so nice on you. I am curious, though, as to the reason for preferring them over your own hair. Also, are the wigs hot to wear? Do you wear a wig cap? What is your preference in how they are made? For instance, do you prefer lace fronts or etc.? I told her, I said, that would be a whole video to answer all that. That would be a great video, actually. So I'll try to break it down for you. I wear wigs because, and I apologize, my throat, oh my gosh, the drainage. I wear wigs because my own hair is so super fine. I have a lot of hair, although I lost a lot when I had COVID. But I do have a lot of hair, but it's so fine. And it's just so soft. It took forever to backcomb it and get it big because I love big hair. And it took forever. And hairspray, I went through Aquanet like up the yin yang. It's been and I mentioned it on my last video, they're a godsend. I can, you know, my husband will say, how long before you can get ready for breakfast? And I go, bloop. How's that? You know, put on my makeup real quick, which is, I got that down to a science, and put a wig on. It's just, it's amazing to me. I love them. So there isn't anything wrong with my hair, but to have this hair glam and be ready that fast without no products at all, I save numerous money on products. And no, they're not hot at all. I don't think, I think a baseball cap or a winter cap, if you live in the cold climate, is much hotter and heavier than a wig. I remember being at a game with my daughter, and she had a cap on. It was mid-summer here, hot, and I mean, the sweat was pouring off of her head, and I had a wig on, and I was not hot at all. So I think the way they make them today, back in the day when I did them, oh my gosh, they were so heavy. Nothing like they are today. But the open wefting in that and the air, the breathability through the caps, they are not hot at all. I wear them summer, 100-degree weather. I've been, you know, in warmer climates than even Michigan, and no, they're not hot at all. So most of the time, no, I don't wear a wig cap. And it also, you know, it gives you more breathability with your wig when you're not bound to like a full body nylon stocking. Would make me sweat, I think, and take away from the breathability it's in the wefting of the wig. So normally I don't wear a wig cap. My preference on a wigs is always a synthetic. I love synthetic wigs. I love because you can shake them out. And like this one here is Gayle by Paula, and you can just shake them and put them on your head. I don't get into human hair wigs. Why bother? If I wanted to style a wig and set it and have it go flat out in the humid, I'd use my own hair. I don't want any fuss, no muss. I want to just put it on my head and go. So I prefer curly synthetic wigs. I love open wefting. Lace fronts are nice, but I'm a bang talks girl. I always have to have bangs, so the lace fronts are yay or nay to me. If they have a lace front, I happen to buy one. I have some Jaclyn Smiths that have lace fronts. I do like them because if the wind blows outside and blows your bangs up, you can't see that line across here. It looks just like your forehead. So they're nice for that. I don't have a preference, no. So I hope that answered your question. And Lori Rapp, you pretty much asked me the same. I think I answered it. She says, you always look so pretty when you show your real hair. Why do you prefer wigs? So, and that's it. It's strictly laziness on my part because I'm pretty. I think it just, I've cried so much Oh, you could ask my husband. If he was sitting here, he would tell you. I have cried so much over fixing my hair when we have been going out to functions and stuff. And I was an hour, at least an hour fixing my hair. And sometimes they would be ready. They would hear combs flying and I'd be crying. And I do all this work on my hair and I'd do banana curls if we were going someplace dressy and all this stuff and all this hairspray. And once you had hairspray on, there was no combing through Aquanet. I mean, it was there to stay, girls. I think that this is 5 minutes throwing a wig on. It's cut my life in half of getting out the door and the stress of it. They're just amazing. I mean, to own a wig is just, it's amazing. I mean, I just love them. So that's basically why I wear them and I don't do my bio. Susan Balachik, I think. I don't know how to say it, Susan, but I know you. I love you. What is your favorite Italian dish to eat and what is my favorite wig? My favorite, I love Mexican food. That wasn't your question. My favorite Italian dish, I think, if I had to make one, are stuffed Italian shells with homemade sauce, and they're stuffed with meat and great. I have this great mixture that I mix. It has a little bit of wine in it, and then I put it in shells, my shells, cooked shells. I don't make it from scratch. And I bake them in the oven, a little grated cheese, and sometimes mozzarella cheese, we always say it in Italian, mozzarella. So however you say it, you say it. And that's my favorite. And my favorite wig, boy, I'm telling you, it's really hard to pinpoint because every one that I get that's new, I go, this is my favorite wig. I mean, when I get Gayle is probably one of my favorite wigs. The Pecan Delight color, it goes with my skin complexion. I cut probably 4 inches off of her. This is probably one of my favorite wigs. The other one is a Jacqueline Smith Sunset, and her Leading Lady have been the ones that I just bought that I love. The one that I just did a review on by the wig company, that Curiosity wig, super cute, plop and go. I wore her yesterday, got tons of compliments on her. So everyone that I get new is kind of my favorite. But I think if I talked about gravitating to certain ones every day, it would be Gayle and probably Leading Lady have been the ones that I gravitate right now to the most. But Curiosity is new. I just reviewed it and just did it, but she was my favorite yesterday. So, thank you, Susan. And then COVID Survivor asked, how is your marriage? My marriage is awesome. I married 48 years to a wonderful man. It is our second marriages. We had kids we each had children from our first marriages. We had one daughter together, who Hayden and Bella, that's their mom, my daughter Gina. We've had ups, we've had downs, we've had financial woes, we've had deaths, we've had a lot of things. We've had so many things that could have folded a regular marriage. And I don't know if you're interested in any of that. I would love to tell you our story someday if you're interested. We've had some really traumatic misfortunes in our lifetime of 48 years, but we stuck together and we talk. I think talking has been just a priority with us. Every Sunday morning from the time I think we've been married, I don't even know how it started, we have our coffee talk. And he gets up in the morning, he's always made my coffee, he brings in a cookie. Even on Weight Watchers, I don't count it, it's free. But we talk and we talk and we talk everything out. And I think the open lines of communication have been very successful to our marriage. I couldn't be happier. I'm blessed every day because he is a COVID survivor, and that message is from that message was from my husband. Thank you, Debbie. So now you know how my marriage is. It was funny. He said, I saw this afterwards, and I didn't even know that he asked, how is your marriage? Anyway, he's a wonderful guy. I'm blessed. And Monica Potts, Like you and so many have asked me, she loves my glasses, and she wanted to know where I got them. You know, Monica, so many people have asked me about my glasses here, and I tell you, they're generic. There is no name on these glasses. I've looked at them before for other people, and I'll tell you, I had my cataract surgery last January, and on one eye, and then my second eye was done in February. In that surgery, I got glasses. It's part of the surgical, they pay for your glasses, and you have to go to a specific doctor who takes your insurance, and you get your eye exam and your first pair of glasses after cataract surgery free. It's included in your surgery package. So I went to this great new eye place who I love this doctor. I'm going back to him again if I need the glasses to get changed. And these were there was 3 to pick from. There was these, there was a big round black pair, and then there was a silver pair with no rims, which to me, I don't like it. I put them on and I look like 80. Oh wait, I am almost 80. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I think these were like, no, they weren't. I was going to say my pair before that came from the kids section, but they're just really, you can see they're small lenses. They're not very big, and they have to be a certain way, and I don't like them really, really big, round. Some of you like the round one, but I have the blended lenses, so the bottom are really, 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 really high in prescription, and I don't like to show all the wrinkles and all that stuff. So the smaller the glasses, the better for your beauty. So thank you, Monica. Sorry. And Barbara Waite, you asked me, you had a question about my books because you know that I wrote books, and I did get your email, Barb. I haven't had a chance to go over it, but she wondered if I would ever consider doing it a Kindle and Amazon. I haven't looked into that. These books have been published for a long time. I've sold many of them when I first wrote them. I pulled them back. I got busy. So I have just older copies. The disc that I had these books on is long gone. So I don't know if that would work to put them on Kindle. I know you sent me a really great email and you broke it all down for me, and I haven't looked into it, but yeah, I would love to sell them. I wrote 4 books. So I'll read your email and then I'll get back to you on that, Barb. Thanks for watching and thanks for your question. And Design and Entertainment, Kathleen, I love you, Kathleen. She said, what I would ask you, how did you become so wise? Kathleen, thank you. Also, when and why did you decide to become an author? You know, I started to write my books. I started to write my diet book because I was so disgusted with all the diets that I found, all the diets that I tried that failed me, all the diets. I was trying to process my food, my intake. I was doing kind of like, I was out when I would go to restaurants, I would see people binge eating. I saw one guy order 2 full meals and sat there and ate them himself. He was so heavy, he had a wheelchair that actually brought him in and brought him out, but he was obese. He was like 400 pounds. And I thought to myself, why would you do that? And I started jotting down things and eating habits and things like that, and things that helped me, and combinations of foods that helped me. And then I was looking at moods and how moods affect your eating and stress affects your eating. And I don't know, it just inspired me to write the book. The beauty book, for years and years, I've always been a person that has taken care of their skin. And it was just inevitable that I was going to just write a book teaching everybody on how to be the best version of themselves that they can be, from head, and that's your scalp, all the way down to your feet. So that just inspired me to do one. The recipe book that I wrote is a great book on just some of my Italian traditions recipes. So that was just an inspiration for my family, kind of a cookbook. The job market book, somebody at school had talked to me about the kids, how to find a job after school and what they had to go through. And I started to do that for like this high school, writing a book on the job market and how to get the best out of your interview. And I interviewed a lot of people, restaurants, and what they were looking for it's a lot different today, I think, than when I wrote the book. But it was basically to hand out to like high school students and stuff. So that kind of inspired me. So that's how I became a writer. And I didn't know I was wise, but I'll take it, Kathleen. I love you, Kathleen. And Raina Lynn's Lifestyle in Hawaii, she has a channel. She's my Hawaiian beauty. She wanted to know, what is the biggest secret to skincare? You know, the biggest secret to skincare to me is exfoliating your skin and getting the dead skin cells off. That is like the numero uno thing that you have to do to get a great skin. And you know how I take care of my skin at almost 80. But exfoliating, massaging, doing the lymphatic drainage, the beauty routine, and the one thing that I can say for a great skin is to use a product that agrees with you, that loves, that your skin loves, that it thrives on, and consistency. A good skin routine has to be consistent. You have to be consistent, or don't bother. So that's my story. Consistency is the biggest secret. You have to be consistent. Thank you, Rachel. And Anna, oh, my sweet Anna, she wanted to know, if I could go back in time, what's the one thing I would do differently in life? Inquiring minds want to know. I think the one thing that if I could go back that I would do differently in life, I would plan for my retirement. I think not thinking when you're in your 20s or so that you're going to be older, living vicariously, buying things, not thinking about retirement, not thinking about, I just never thought about that I'd be 80. But I don't think we planned enough for retirement as we should have. We had some issues. I mean, I'll tell you about that one day, about what happened to us and how Denny and I had to start all over again because our planning, it was terrible. We got caught up in the 2008 horrific, let's call it almost depression. And we had to build things from scratch again. And I may talk about that one day. I don't know if you're interested or not. But anyway, I think that would be it. I would definitely have saved for my maturing years more than we did. Hope that answers you, Anna. And my grandma Mint. Hi, Sharon. Sharon wanted to know about my faith. How it has changed during your lifetime, and do you share about it with your grandchildren or other family members? Yeah, I've had faith from a very young age. It's funny because when I was younger, my mother used to always say, "God knows everything. You can't fool him. You can't be bad because God knows, and you'll pay someday." And I just remember as a kid, I always played games with God. I would sit at the table and I go, "Yeah, you think you know? What glass am I going to put down? Or what am I going to put down?" You know, and I kind of like leaned on him for jokes. Isn't that crazy as a kid? And no matter what I'd say, "What do you think I'm going to wear today? Huh? You think you know everything? Am I going to wear this blouse or am I going to wear that blouse?" So I know it's crazy. So as I grew up, he was like my humor person. I used God as like my humor person. I did jokes, and I used to tell my mother, "I think I hear him laughing," and she'd go, "Okay, Babs." But he was like my audience for my humor. I would bounce off jokes from him, and I don't know. I was just kind of part of me. And then as I got older, I realized that wait a minute, he's more than just jokes and fun. He's really helped me. He's really carried me through this. And then I started, praying, and we started church, and I started looking at that. He's not only an audience for my humor, he actually does listen to prayers, and he actually does help. And my faith is very strong. It doesn't matter what religion that you are, whether you're Catholic, Presbyterian, you can believe in any kind of religion that you want. They all have the same roof, and it's God's roof. I tell my grandchildren about it. We talk about faith. We talk about God. We've talked about Jesus. Kids today have their own outlook on religion and things in today's times. But I tell them as much as I can to help them, and it's up to them what they do with their faith. But they know the power of prayer is powerful. So I know they know that. So my faith is very important to me, and I live it daily. And God first, the rest of the things are second, no matter what and who it is. It's just the way my life is. That's what I believe in, and that's what keeps me going with all the hardships and things that we've had in the last 50 years. Not to mention my hardship of losing my son. My faith has got me through. So thank you, Sharon. So I think that's it, girls. I think I answered all your questions. I don't really have to do a part 2. And I'm happy to do this. I'm happy that you asked me, and I'm glad that you came over today. Thank you so much for coming, and always remember, you got it. Be the I in kind. We can all use that today. I love you. See you next video.